Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. How are you? I'm good. I know I've been gone for a minute. Well, I haven't even been gone that long, but I've been gone because I've just been busy. I'm a college student and I've just been busy doing college things like essays and it's been a lot. And I was in the hospital too, but that's for another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how I got into my dream school, which is NYU. I'm going to talk about the application process for NYU, and the things I mentioned in this video can honestly be applied to almost any school in the country, I would imagine. Not just in the country, just any university, I would imagine. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. So let's get into it. Okay, so I have my main points in this journal, the things I'm going to touch on, because it's kind of a lot and I'm gonna have trouble remembering everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. But it's all in the journal, so we're good. So the first thing I want to talk about is, how did I decide that I wanted to go to NYU? How did it become my dream school? Well, I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to go to college freshman year of high school and my sophomore year. I knew that I wanted to study drama or communications. I wasn't sure yet. I was kind of wanting to double major with both of them. But then I saw that NYU was coming to visit my school. So I went to the information session and I was convinced, like, this is the school I need to go to, because they had this amazing drama program. It was a campus in New York City, and there was a lot of flexibility for study. I found that if I wanted to take a class on something or study something, I wanted the option to do it, and NYU provided that flexibility. And it also had study abroad options. I just really was like hooked on the whole thing. So I signed up for like information about NYU to be sent to my email, and I just really kept my eye on like campus tours and information sessions that I could do. So I toured the NYU campus my spring break of junior year, and I was even more convinced that I wanted to go. Not only did I tour the NYU campus, but I also toured the Columbia University campus, which is uptown. What I realized by touring both of them was that NYU just seemed to fit me more. So I made up my mind that I wanted to go to NYU. So I sat down and I realized that, okay, if I want to go here, and if I know that if I get in that I'm going to go, I might as well just let them know how interested I am in going. So I applied early decision, and what early decision means is that you apply to a school on an early deadline and then you get your decision back early. But the early decision also means that if you get in, that means that you agree to actually going and that you're not just going to ditch the school for somewhere else. So I applied early decision because I knew that if I got into NYU, that's where I was going to put my energy into going. I applied in October, and I'm in the Tisch drama program. So I had my artistic review audition in November, and I found out I got in December. So I was just really excited, and I found out in a fast food restaurant bathroom because I was with some of my classmates, and I got the email notification, and I didn't want them to see me crying if I didn't get in. So I said, excuse me, I'll be right back. And then I went on my phone and I saw the notification, and then I screamed in the bathroom and I called my mom, and it was a happy, celebratory, festive moment. That's pretty much the story about how I got in. I'm going to talk about specifically the audition and how I chose my monologue and just information about Tisch drama in a completely separate video that is coming soon. But for the purposes of this video, I just wanted to talk about NYU in general and what my application was like, and hopefully I can provide some insight for future current applicants. Okay, so for background, for me as a student, I was in the IB Diploma program. I was an IB Diploma candidate, so I listed that on my application. At the time of the application, I believe my GPA was weighted at a 4.678, but the unweighted GPA was a 3.8, and then I listed awards in terms of clubs and organizations. I was in the National Honor Society, student government. I was very involved with theater, and I was involved with our morning news show and our broadcast journalism program. I was a part of Quill and Scroll, which is the International Journalism Honor Society, and I led a community service organization at my school that focused in raising non-perishable food items. And what I think a lot of people say about the college application process when listing clubs and stuff is that college admissions officers are more impressed by people who have a handful of clubs that they are really dedicated to and that they have shown growth within, rather than someone who just did 500 clubs and it was just that. Because when you do so many clubs, it's like, okay, but can you grow within them? Or are you just attending a meeting once a month and then calling it a day? Like, they're interested in participation, they're interested in leadership, they're interested in growth. In terms of standardized test scores, if you are applying to Tisch drama, or any Tisch School of the Arts program, I think, actually, you don't need to submit your standardized test scores, which is really a huge stress relief if you are stressed about standardized tests. I did submit my scores to the school anyway, just because I wanted like an extra boost, but I'm not sure if it gave an extra boost or if it was just sitting there. I don't know, but it's not required if you're applying to Tisch. The NYU application is processed through the Common App. The Common App is a online website thing with many colleges participating in it. So basically you create an account and then you line up all of the colleges that you are applying to, and you just fill out one general application with your information and one general personal statement essay that is then sent to all of the colleges, and then the colleges individually, when you click on their tabs, they have their own individual questions and essays. So for NYU, the essay that they had was the Why NYU essay. And I think most colleges have the essay where it's just like, why do you want to go to this school? So for the Why NYU essay, I was sure to really research the school. For this specific essay, you want to do as much background research on the school as possible, because you don't want to have the school thinking that you're just copying and pasting an essay for another school and just sending it to them. I really wanted to go to NYU, so I knew my information and my background about why I wanted to go. I talked about how I like that the campus is in and of the city. I talked about how I like the flexibility of study. Pretty sure I mentioned how I was interested in studying abroad. I said that I wanted the best training possible for being an actor, which is why I wanted to be in Tisch drama. I just listed all of those things. But it's also important in this essay to subtly sneak in why you are a good fit for the school, because they want people who are going to be active within the community, people who are going to represent the school well. So you need to just make sure that you are not only emphasizing why do I want to go to NYU or whatever school you're interested in, but why NYU needs me as well. So that's just one of the essays, but the general personal statement essay seems to be the most important essay for people. It seems to be the most time-consuming one. It was definitely the most time-consuming one for me. The Common App is really good about giving you prompts to work with, and I think if you choose one of the prompts, it's just going to be easier for you to know what you're going to write about. The prompt that I chose for my essay, it was something about tell us about a time where you overcame obstacles and you became a better person because of it, or something along those lines. And I basically talked about experiences I had in middle school that were not necessarily the best, and how I became a better person because of that in high school, and how I restored confidence within myself. It was something along those lines, but it was a really personal essay. It told a narrative. It was really an extension of my inner voice. And I think that's really important for this essay. They're looking for students to show their personality, to show their humanity. At the end of the day, the GPA, the SAT scores, all of that stuff, when lined up against another student, if y'all have the same exact things or similar scores and numbers, they're still going to have to eliminate one and choose one. And the way that they can go about doing that is by looking at the personality of the student, looking at what the student is writing about in their personal statement essay, looking at how the student relates to the world, how introspective the student is. These are things that colleges are looking at. Okay, so now I want to talk about managing stress and getting yourself organized. This process is, for a lot of people, can be very stressful. Speaking personally, because I was on a different timeline than my peers because I was applying early decision, a lot of my stress regarding college was out of the way by January or December when I found out. Because when I found out I got in, I was done and I said I'm going. Then I was just focusing on the next steps to ensuring that my transition over to college was smooth. But for other people, I've noticed that stress really starts to come around at the last minute. What worked for me was organizing all of my things in a spreadsheet. And in this spreadsheet, I had all of my schools listed, all the schools that I was applying to, and I listed down the schools. I'm looking in my journal because I have it all bulleted down. Okay, in this spreadsheet, I have the schools I was applying to. I had the method of application, meaning, is this a Common App school that I can apply to through the Common App? Is this school on the Coalition application, which is another thing? Or do I have to actually go on the school's website and apply through there, which is a thing for a lot of schools. Not all schools are on the Common App. I also wrote down the deadlines for the schools when the application was due. But when I wrote down the deadlines, I actually didn't put in the application due date. I actually put in about a week or two before, because I wanted some time to like correct myself or just give myself leeway. In this spreadsheet, I also listed like requirements for the application, like the personal statement, the why I want to go to this school essay. For me, I also listed down like information about the artistic review with my monologues, and I just check marked everything when I was done with it. And when you are done with everything on this spreadsheet, you just mark it off as done, and then you can move on to the next. Last but not least, at the end of the application season, and you're starting to find out about schools, or if you find out, like I did, early decision, just be kind to yourself. If things don't work out the way that you wanted them to work out with a specific school, it can be a sad moment, but I think it's also important to remember that what is for you will be for you. And if you get that rejection letter, just throw it in the trash and pretend you never applied and keep it pushing. And just keep living your life, and when you do find the school that you want to go to, make sure that you are doing everything in your power to take advantage of everything that that school offers. So that concludes this video. I hope those of you who are applying to college right now and people who are applying to NYU right now have found it helpful. Like I said, I will be doing a separate video specifically talking about my audition process for Tisch Drama and just other information about Tisch Drama, and that's going to be coming very shortly. If you like this video, be sure to like, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, do all of that. All right, so that's all for today.